guys. Can you tell us, I think we should be, hi everyone. We had a technical difficulty, but we're learning. Thank you for joining us today. We were so happy to see you all last week because we had over 24,000 views and I think 1,000 comments or something, and it was very exciting. So we're glad you like these lives. Today, we're going to talk about converting a coloring book image to an SVG so you can layer it. And we'll do that at the computer. Also, just as a house cleaning note, we created a file sharing file in our group page on Facebook for you all to share your own SVG files. So feel free to go over there and you go into files on the sidebar and then share your files that you've created, nothing that somebody else created. Okay, let's get started. We've got a lot to do today, so we're going over to the computer. And we're going to show how to do a coloring book image and turn it into an SVG file for layering. So I'm in Google Images and I'm going to type in coloring book Rudolph simple. And that takes me to images. So I've practiced this a little bit, and this is the image I've chosen. So we're going to do this image, and if you want to download a color image too, in case you forget what color Rudolph is or whatever image you want, you can download both a color image and a black and white. We're just going to work with the coloring book image. So I'm going to go into this and we're going to right click and save the image as Rudy 1. So we're going to save that. And now we're going to go into our Cricut Design Space. We're going to create a new project. And we're going to go into upload. If you see over here, upload. A lot of you already know how to do this. This is very rudimentary, I'm sorry, but it was something that people wanted to know. So we're going to upload this image into, here. We're going to upload the image here. And we're going to browse our downloads. So we're going to go into, on this computer, where do I find downloads? Let's see if we can find Rudy 1. All right, there we are. All right, we're on this image that we've downloaded, and please note down here, it has some writing on it, so we're going to get rid of all this stuff. Now to do an SVG file, all you want is, okay, it's taken us into complex. And by pressing on the background, we get rid of everything but the outline. So to do an SVG, all we want is the outline of the image. All right? So everything is, the little checkerboard means it's deleted. Now I want you to notice, if we left this down here, that would also come up. So we're just going to use our eraser, which is up here in the left corner. And we're going to erase this. I'm just getting used to this. Okay, that's erased. And if you want to preview to make sure it's perfect, go down in this and you can look and see that everything is ready to go. So now we're going to go into continue. And we're going to save this as a cut image because ultimately that's what we're going to do with it. If you want to write the name of him up there, you can to save him. We've saved him as Rudy. So he's saved right here. And now we're going into a new project, and we're going to upload Rudy into our design space. So you can tell that we have him here. I'm going to make him 6 inches. So I'm going up to the sizing up here, and we're going to make him 6 inches. And now I want you to think of the number of colors you're going to have in your image, because the number of colors you're going to have is the same number of times you're going to duplicate this image. So we're going to have it, one color is black, another color up here is duplicate, up at the top will be red, another color will be white, and another color will be brown. So we're going to have 4 layers or 4 colors. It's just the same as if you were, let me just show you real quickly. If you're going to go into images and do this Rudolph and insert that one, you would see your layers up here, right guys? So we're doing basically the same thing because we're going to change those layer colors. But right now, we're gonna get rid of that Rudolph. All right, now we've got 4 duplicated images. So we're going to go up here to select all, and we're going to align these images. Here's align. We're gonna align these images on top of each other. So now we have 4 the same image layered on top of each other. Starting at the bottom image, right down here, we're going to choose that bottom color. It's going to be black because that's going to be our background color. So you see this blue line here? That means you've selected 1 layer. And over here, it's gray on the bottom of your right-hand side. So now that we've selected the 1 bottom layer, we're going to go down in the right-hand side and choose contour. And as you'll remember, last week we talked about contour, and that simply means that it removes cut lines and elements within a shape. So here's our contour of Rudy. We want to hide all the contours. And when you do that, it will leave one thing unhidden, this thing on the right-hand side, and that just happens to be this, which is what we want. So we're going to keep that. We're going to get out of that. That's going to be our bottom layer, solid black. Okay, now we're going here to the right-hand side again. We're going to go into the next layer. Sorry, I don't want to do that. We're going to go into the next layer. You can see we have a blue line around it. And this time we're going to press brown because we're going to make Rudolph's face and his antlers. Let's go back into contour. Again, you want to go down and hide everything except for his face and his antlers. But here's where it gets tricky. Remember that this guy is still visible, so we need to get rid of him. So all we're going to have now, you can see over here to the left, we've made his face and his antlers. Okay? So that was our second layer. All right, next layer, moving up, is this layer we're going to make, let's make it red for his hat. Down into contour again. We're just going to do his hat, and of course Rudolph's nose is also red. So his nose and his hat, but again, going up, let's see, we don't want that. So it's just his nose and his hat going up we want to make sure that, let's see, I'm going to start over. We're going to hide all contours. We're just going to do his nose and his hat. There we go. And then remember, we're going to go back up and get rid of that. So there's his nose and his hat, which is in, oops, I don't want that part of the hat. I want that part of the hat. All right, so we've got that. And now our last layer over here, we're going to go into this top layer, and that's going to be our white layer. So press on the white, go down into contour, down the right-hand side. Our white is going to be the fur on his hat, the little ball on the hat, and we're going to make his eyes white also. And remember to deselect that. And deselect. All right, that gives us the little ball of fur, the hat, and the eyes. And let's see, we need to get his face. So we're going to go into this image, we're going to go back into brown and select contour, hide all contours, get just his face. For some reason we lost this, and his antlers, and hide that. There we go. All right. Now we have our image, and we're going to make it. So we go up to the corner and press Make It. And what Cricut wants to do, guys, is just sort you into 4 different mats. But I'd like for you to stop thinking about sorting your mats into colors and rather sorting them into vinyl types. So what I'm going to do here is to go back, and I'm going to go into up in the upper right hand corner, right under the Make It, we're going to go into Color Sync. Now we're using glitter for the hat and for his nose. So I want to put those 2 images together, the hat and the nose. And then when we go into Make It, you're going to see that the hat and the nose are on one mat. So I'm going to move it like that. We're going to mirror it because I mirror everything just so I won't forget. And I've got the glitter because the glitter cuts differently than our 1, 2, 3 vinyl and our other stuff. It's thicker. So we need to put it, I like to put it on one mat so I can cut it with a thicker blade. All right, so we're mirrored, we're using one mat, and I want to make sure I've got the right depth of cut on it. So I'm going to use light cardstock. Put it in. Let's go over here to continue. All right, and it's ready to load. I'm just going to trim this up here a bit. So it's ready to load. We're going to load it in. I've got it set on the depth I want, and it's going to cut. I've already cut the first 2 layers and put them on the heat press, so that'll save us a little bit of time. So this is cutting his hat and his nose, and then it's going to cut the fur on his hat and his nose. And you can do this with any color book image. as long as it's in black and white, will make it much easier. And you get rid of the solid shapes. And that's what, hey, I think this is done. All right, so we're just gonna weed this. Make sure it has cut through. And you're gonna see some glitter on this transfer tape, but don't worry about that because it's not going to get on your substrate. When you peel this off, peel it off low and slow. And here we go. Glitter is a lot of fun, and especially for the holidays. All right. This is his fur. And his eyes. Perfect. Now, like I said, I've already put on the first 2 layers, so I'm just going to show you how to put these on. It's super it's super easy. Once you try this a few times, you're gonna love it because it's super easy to do. All right. I'm gonna put this over here on Rudolph's nose. And because we have other vinyl already down, we're gonna cover it with parchment. We're just tacking these things down. And we're going to cool it with our cooling block. If you all don't have a cooling block yet, they're great. Remember, peel it off low and slow. And then we're going to put his little eyeballs and his little hat on. Again, the good news is that even though there might be glitter on the transfer sheet, it's not going to come off on your substrate. So you can make as many layers as you want. You can get your images from, we do Love SVG, you get images from there, or SVG PNG, I think, or some of the other places we get images. Give us a thumbs up or a like if you're enjoying our lives, and please comment because we're going to have a drawing. And I'm also going to announce the drawing we had from last week. Okay, here's our little image made from a coloring book image. And then just one more thing before I tell you who won from last week is I want to show you the thing we did last week that so many people responded to. Here's 2 layers of Rudolph that I did earlier. And this is our 1, 2, 3 flex. I'm going to heat this for about 45 seconds. My heat press is on 315 for about 45 seconds. I gotta go get my notes. And if you'll remember our live last week, we talked about correcting mistakes. If you missed it, you can probably still find it on our Facebook page. But if you can't find it there, go into our YouTube page, because I posted 2 of our lives on our YouTube channel. And you'll be able to see how this works and all the corrections that we made. We also showed how to correct mirror if you forgot to mirror. Okay, so we've left this on for about 45 minutes. And here's where the magic happens. It takes up, it's hot, takes up all the vinyl. And of course, if it didn't get all of it, and here's the vinyl, guys, that it took up 2 layers of vinyl that's still on here. That just astonishes me. I love this tip. So if it didn't get all of it, just get another piece of plain printer paper. This is the stuff you use in your copier. Takes it right up. That. All right. But if, like I said, if you didn't see the how to fix your mistakes, mirroring mistakes, and all kinds of mistakes, check it on our YouTube channel or in our live from last week. Okay. Please comment, like, and share to enter for this week's giveaway. We are giving away 1 pound each to 2 women. So comment, like, and share, and you'll be eligible to win a pound of vinyl. And last week's winner is Margie Brasino Carmona. So congratulations, Margie. I'll post this on our page. And I think Margie won heat press, is that right? I think so, a heat press and some vinyl. Anyway, Margie, congratulations, and thank you guys for tuning in. We love seeing with you, we love hanging out with you. Please send us some questions because we can answer all your questions during the rebroadcast. And we'll see you next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Hopefully we'll have our camera ready. Bye, take care.